Might put Villa on the back foot. Paulo Ferreira winning a corner. But let's hope that's a sign of things to come, certainly from Deco.
Lampard's corner. Alex beaten to it by James Collins. Not often that Frank Lampard's touch lets him down. Another couple of assists and a goal at Portsmouth for Frank in midweek.
Of course, all eyes on the Premier League, Ben. This game, Villa-Chelsea. But in 2 weeks' time, it's a bit of a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup semi-final.
Zirkov tried to shepherd that one out, but instead it's a corner. It is indeed a dress rehearsal for 2 weeks' time. Slightly bizarrely, there's also Tottenham versus Portsmouth today, which will be the other one. Certainly Zirkov with the final touch, and Aston will have a third corner of the game. Chelsea won't want to keep giving them away, because you wouldn't imagine they'll continue to be poor delivery. It's Warnock again this time. This time it's Collins, and he did get the touch. It was beyond Carew and beyond the far post. Collins, of course, scored one of those 2 goals from corners in the reverse fixture this season.
Yes, and I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti and his team will be fully aware of their threat at set plays. Collins being picked up by Alex, and in Chelsea's previous corner at the other end, it was the other way round. So obviously the two managers have looked at the two players who are possible threats and decided that arguably the two best headers from each side would mark each other. There's no disrespect to John Terry and Carew and co.
Yes, well, Terry and Dunn is a fairly physical matchup as well, isn't it? Richard Dunn got the other one in that game, actually. It was two centre-halves with headed goals for Villa on the day. Didier Drogba scored Chelsea's. A rare error from Brad Friedel. Horrible one he let bounce in. It was around that period of the season where Chelsea were really leaky from set plays. Abdoulaye Faye got on for Stoke and Bramble for Wigan as well. There was a lot at that time, and Chelsea worked hard on it. Went away a bit, came back a bit, and has gone away again at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way. There's Terry over the top of Ashley Young. Milner forward. Carew. Bon Lahore. Congested, and Lampard watched the ball well. Deco. Lampard straight away. Flag up against Anelka. Must have been tight.
I think it's the correct decision. Linesman on the, or referee's assistant, as they say in the modern game, on the far side. Flag straight up. I think we probably will see a replay, and Frank Lampard playing with ball. Nicolas Anelka was very tight. He looked a yard off one time. We looked at it, but you're quite right, Ben. It was very tight when the ball was played.
Some you get, some you don't. It's one of those, isn't it? But yes, the boots looked level. Maybe a bit of chest poking out from Anelka. He went one way, defender went the other. Young's cross, often dangerous, not on this occasion, and several comfortable catches for Petr Cech so far. Thought about the kick, but instead rolls it out to Yuri Zirkov, who has a huge role to play. He's played a poor ball there in what remains of this season. Ashley Cole possibly back for the last couple of games of it. Carlo Ancelotti has said that he of all of them has progressed the best. Ashley Cole, of all of those walking wounded. If anyone's ahead of schedule, it's him.
Be a big plus if he does make it. I thought he was playing fantastic. He was having a great season up until his injury.
More ankle woe this week, this time for Ricardo Carvalho. No surgery for him is the news, but he won't be anywhere near that Chelsea bench for a while. Didier Drogba, not often he's on it. How much will Chelsea miss him? We'll only know that at full time. 36 games played for Chelsea this season, 30 goals. Absolutely incredible.
Well, when you're on that sort of total, and have been there, it's just a case of, Didier Drogba thinking on 33, my best ever season. He's going to want to play every game. Little niggly injuries. He's on course for his best ever season in professional football. You want to play and you want to score.
Goal was away from Warnock, but not from Sidwell. This is Ashley Young. Alex for company. Only Carew in the middle, but Milner arriving. Zirkov can let that one go.
There's been, I think, about 5 corners so far. Certainly Villa have had 3 of them, but it doesn't seem an over robust game. It seems more mundane, a bit of a midfield battle. You know, I think just the one save from Brad Friedel from a shot from wide from Nicholas Anelka, but
there's not been a kick, has there? There's not been a 50-50.
There hasn't been a confrontation. It's just like players are waiting to see what's going to happen rather than looking to make something happen.
Echo would like to. He can't get there around James Milner there, though. That's Bonler Hall for Carew. John Terry to brush off. This is O'Neill and Ancelotti right on the edge of their box there. Slightly more cautious approach with Steve Sidwell in today for Martin O'Neill, for Stuart Downing, who has been the regular. Alex, who been beginning to play really rather well anyway when Carvalho was absent with a slight hamstring injury over recent weeks. No issues about having him in the side every week. Paulo Ferreira, and likewise Zhirkov is now having a little regular run. Slavovanovic, of course, out there, and Basingwa. Joe Cole. Bit of keep ball here.
It's keep ball, Ben, but they've not actually gone anywhere. They've made about 7 or 8 passes and 1 tackle, and Carew very nearly in on goal. Got to be progressive with your passing for me.
Mikel. Malouda, Zhirkov. John Terry with all those defensive absentees, worth pointing out. Chelsea's only ever present in the Premier League this season, the captain. Even Frank Lampard's missed one. Doesn't happen very often. Anelka's ball. Zhirkov check, a little bit behind him. Malouda. What a run of form he's in. Deco, lovely spin away from Petrov and Peter Walton, the referee, and Lampard shoots, and Friedel couldn't be certain it was on target. I'm not sure that it was, but needed saving.
Well, he had to make the save, and you know, Frank likes to score from range. I said earlier about Nicholas Anelka getting a shot on target. You know, it's all very well passing. Frank wants to see something on the end of it, and you know, if he has the opportunity to shoot, he doesn't often disappoint. I think that one was going about a yard wide, but as you correctly said, Friedel can't take that chance.
Bonhall almost sliding one in for Carew.
He's playing rather deep at Bonhall. You know, I think Martin O'Neill is the reason that this game is pretty cluttered in the midfield areas is that Bonhall's not playing as a second striker alongside Carew. Martin O'Neill has put 5 across the midfield with Agbonlahor down on the right-hand side, probably trying to counter Chelsea's 3-man midfield through the centre. I've got to say at the moment, neither team are on top.
Lampard, onside this time, Anelka. Touch had to take him away from goal. This is Malouda, why not hit it? That could go anywhere, and it's in! Frank Lampard on the far post. It's a scuffers goal. And Chelsea lead this enormous match, the toughest home game remaining in this campaign on such a big day, with Arsenal and Manchester United playing as well, and it's a perfect start.
Well, I was just going to say about players playing well. Florent Malouda, for me, certainly for the last month, has been outstanding for Chelsea. It was his cross-come shot that had Villa defenders sliding in, Chelsea attackers sliding in, and in the end it was Frank Lampard who'd made the run into the box on the far post, with the slide just getting a foot to it, right foot it was, and deflecting the ball into the goal, unguarded because Brad Friedel was over at the near post area. Just what Chelsea wanted. Well, certainly the Villa tactics will change now. Chelsea ahead 1-0.
scores a lot of cracking, spectacular goals, Frank Lampard, but he's had a couple of tap-ins this week. Here's Agbonlahor with the cross. Terry clears it. As he nodded in from all of, 2 yards out against Pompey in midweek, Frank Lampard, and now he slid one in there. Just the 18 goals for this season for Frank Lampard, who some people still seem to suggest isn't having that good a season.
Well, if that's not a good season, I thought Frank was playing wonderfully. When the team dipped, he might have just dropped a little bit along with the team, but certainly not having a good season. I think Frank, for me, has been one of our better players, and 18 goals doesn't always tell a story as the cross comes in.
Richard Dunn was up, and it actually didn't get cleared until then when Terry did it the second time, but Dunn did get his head there first.
No, I mean, a lot of the Chelsea players were looking at referee Peter Walton thinking that Dunn had climbed, but Peter Walton given no such free kick.
We've still got bodies up, and Dunn got that flick there. Carew keeps it in. Well, actually, has made a wonderful pass for Joe Cole, and so much for Villa on the counter. This is Chelsea on the counter. Options coming up with him. Cole couldn't pick out Anelka in the middle, or Malouda. Warnock got in the way.
Pretty tough on that far side trying to pick out Anelka. There's not many Chelsea players in support. Malouda was getting there. I've counted 5 Villa players back. Good pass from John Carew, mind you, to set Chelsea on the attack.
Very generous of him. Malouda. Lampard's run has forced Warnock into conceding a corner. And Malouda and Lampard turning the favour there. It's Frank who set up Flo for one of his goals at Fratton Park in midweek. Here comes the corner. Terry the target, and it's a Villa head. It's Carew and Luke Young both jumping for the same ball, and
got to say, rather strange header, Ben. You talk about trying to head the thing away. I think it was Carew that actually got there and looking to head the ball back over his crossbar. Dangerous practice indeed.
Take 2 from Lampard. Terry again the target, and Alex. Collins got there ahead of Alex. Those two are going to see a lot of one another today from every set play, clearly. This is Mikel. Speaking of assists at Fratton Park, don't see it that often from him, but that 50-yard ball to Drogba was a peach. Didier Drogba's second. And despite the decent start with the goal, it's quiet around the bridge. Malouda comes forward and does well to keep hold of the ball, and he gets it back from Jerkov, and he's onside. How's the cross? Headed clear by Dunn.
Warm applause all around us in the East Stand for Florent Malouda's efforts.
How good has he been recently?
He's been magnificent for me. He's been, Didier Drogba would be the only one to probably say inconsistency in terms of what he's done for the side of late. Certainly in the last month, Florent Malouda for me has been our best player.
Nice pass from Deco to Cole. Herrera forward, flags up against Frank Lampard, who is now just a couple of goals off third place in the all-time Chelsea charts. Messrs Osgood and Bentley, and just trying to think who's in second. Slightly nervous Kerry Dixon it might be. This one's a midfielder.
Certainly is. For me, it's absolutely wonderful what Frank has done in terms of a midfielder getting that amount of goals. When you think of the great goal-scoring midfielders, the John Walks of this world, and he got many goals from midfield. Frank's achievements have been outstanding.
Paulo Ferreira. Nice looking pass, and Elka might need some help. Here comes Lampard on the gallop with Agbonlahor. Lampard got the touch there first. Agbonlahor comes away with the ball. Terry in ahead of Carew. The Villa fans want handball. They're not going to get it. Alex.
Martin O'Neill hasn't changed his tactics from what he started out with. Considering Chelsea have gone 1-0 up, I think we'll see a change certainly as the game progresses, but at the moment he's quite happy with what his Villa team are doing. And,
Chelsea fans aren't happy with Peter Walton. They thought Collins clipped Anelka when that ball went through. But yes, it'll be interesting to see if he does move Agbonlahor up to join Carew as this game progresses. Plenty of time left, I suppose. Only 20 minutes gone. Here's Anelka. Deco. Urged to shoot. He did so. Blocked by Petrov, his captain. Milner. Bit of a blind alley, this one. Haven't held on to leads quite so well this season, Kerry. Seen some points dropped at Blackburn last week, having led from early on.
Everton springs to mind.
Actually dropped 16 points this season from winning positions, and there's only one team in the league that have dropped more. Stoke, rather bizarrely, but against Manchester City, both games, Chelsea took the lead and lost the pair of them. Villa, a hard-working side, and they are nobody's fool and no pushover. Chelsea will want 2 or 3 on the board before they can think this is a done deal. And now Peter Walton has blown. Warnock down.
Well, I think it was a case of a little too late for Chelsea fans. Peter Walton hasn't given Chelsea 2 possible free kicks that fans feel he might have done. And then with Chelsea in possession, decides to blow up with Stephen Warnock down on that far side. Here we see clash of heads with Joe Cole. I think it was the right decision. You never know how serious these things are.
Combative player, Stephen Warnock had his fair share of knocks. Martin O'Neill looking on but not too concerned, because it looks like Warnock's going to come straight back on. Chelsea have the ball back, and away we go again after a couple of quiet minutes. Alex. Made his debut against Aston Villa, Alex, in a rather ill-fated match at Villa Park. One of the last for Jose Mourinho, that famous shot of certain Mr. Abramovich making his way up the steps, plus past Doug Ellis. Here's Carew, tackled well by Terry. Now Mikel, Chelsea trying to get something going here. Cole forced backwards, Deco. John Mikel Obi made a forward run there. Ray Wilkins won't like that. He'll be right on his case. And it's won Chelsea a free kick.
Oh, Steve Sidwell, it's a second tackle he's had in probably the last minute. The first one on Florent Malouda, solid challenge, and well, that one was deemed a free kick by referee Peter Walton. He'll be keen to impress Steve Sidwell after his stint at Chelsea. I'm sure he'll want to prove the hierarchy wrong to let him go.
Yes, didn't make much of an impression. Didn't really get the chance to be fair to him. It pulled Makelele in the way of him.